Hello everyone and welcome to this short presentation. My name is Carlström. I'm a psychologist and I am from Sweden and I've been working with OBM for approximately 15 years. I'm working with leadership development, I work with change management. I also have written a book in Swedish about change management and OBM. And I also hold courses for consultants who wants to develop within OBM. My companion Leif Andersson, he started Sweden's first specialist education in OBM in 2008. And since a couple of years, we are doing this together. Today, I aim to share some insights from training managers in OBM and performance management, and particularly focusing on monitoring and feedback practices within one-on-one talks. If we go back when I started with OBM a long time ago, I spent a lot of time teaching managers about all kind of OBM stuff, theoretical stuff, practical stuff. And I was very ambitious. Yet on follow-up, I recognized that most of the managers hadn't been practicing what was taught in the course. And as a behavior analyst, I started to dwell into what circumstances, what contingencies are stopping them from practicing their knowledge. And what came up was that a lot of managers didn't have that much insight on how their direct reports were doing out there. They were not able to observe, and the performance data that were given didn't give them much help. So it was hard for them knowing how to give them, on what am I going to give my direct reports feedback. Another quite obvious problem was that both managers' agendas and direct reports agendas was quite busy, so it was extremely hard finding spontaneous time to talk about performance and giving feedback. And the employees, they were screaming for, we need more feedback, we want more feedback. I think it's the same where you live as in Sweden. Employees almost always want more feedback. And managers thought they were giving feedback all the time, but that was not how their direct report experienced it. To address those challenges, we implemented one-on-one meeting as a platform for regular feedback. We established clear agreements on when and how feedback would be delivered, and everyone was told that you can expect your manager to hold one-on-one talks with you where you will talk about your performance and you will be given feedback within those one-on-one talks. And the idea behind was that when observations or performance data is not available, managers need to use verbal communication to monitor and to get information on performance. Information that they then can use to give feedback. To prompt monitoring and feedback behaviors in managers, we created a simple structure for how to hold those one-on-one meetings. A structure also to help managers to keep it short. Meetings often tend to be longer than needed and bring up a lot of topics where it will be hard to follow up on each of them. This will lead to blur the focus of the talks, and employees will be confused, and what is said on the one-on-one talks might not be an antecedent for performing the behaviors brought up in the talks. So, the structure of the one-on-one meetings featured a simple yet effective framework, and we used a couple of open-ended questions for managers to work with during the one-on-one talks. And it was questions like, how did what we talked about last time, how did it work for you? Can you give some positive examples on how you have worked with it? What obstacles have you encountered? How have you worked with solving those problems? What can you do to improve in the future? What support do you need from me as a manager? And what shall we follow up next time we talk? So role play was used, and managers were trained to follow this simple structure, and they were giving feedback on keeping to one topic, and they also were giving feedback on doing those talk efficient, that they were not going to take more than 5 to 10 minutes to hold those talks. And managers was then told to hold their one-on-one talks with all the direct reports every week. For those with very many direct reports, we could stretch this as to bi-weekly talks. And as all managers, regardless of position in the organization, were trained, second line managers were told to do one-on-one with their reporting manager on how their one-on-ones were working out for them. And third line manager were told to hold one-on-one with second line manager, and so on, all the way up to the director. And what we could see was that this chain of one-on-one talks through the entire organization was the key for success. In an organization where this chain was broken, this eventually led to first line managers not holding their one-on-one talks. So, introducing the one-on-one talks, it was a way for the organization to move away from performance managers to some performance management that was something that was done semi-annual in performance evaluation. Choose something that was manageable to do on a weekly basis. So, that's all from me. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.